Begin transmission.
This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Good to see y'all today. I've got a few people in the chat. It says I've got 4 watching. Let's just shout me out in the comments there in the chat stream there and let me know you're there. Bjorn, if you're still there, give me that 5x5 if you can see and hear me okay. It seems like the stream is doing pretty good. Happy Sunday there, Grindhead Jim. Good to see you, sir. If you would like to come on, I'll be more than happy to send you the StreamYard link. Just let me know in the chat and I'll do so. Nolan, it's good to see you. And yes, thank you there, Bjorn. I appreciate that, man, telling me that everything sounds very good. All right. And we do have a special guest that will be coming on here shortly. I've got a little bit of housekeeping to do real quick that I just want to shout out. Want to shout Patreons, special thanks. These people are what's keeping the lights on. They're heroes in my book. Grindhead Jim, Pope, Will McLaughlin, Jim Largo, our very own Rolo, Masters Maniac Mexico, and Bjorn Jorgensen. I appreciate you guys so very much for continuing to support this channel. Some of you are going way above what's necessary, and I appreciate that. And I just want you to know that you're appreciated as well. Looking at the chat here, we got Boba Hicks in the house, and Boba Hicks can attest that I have been up all night. I have not had a lick of sleep since yesterday, and I had a marathon stream last night. It's unwatchable in some areas. It's still up. If you guys want to try to skip through that and see some of the highlights, Zazel came on the show with me, and we had a little bit of a chat. And near the end of the show, me and another YouTuber, brand new YouTuber, as a matter of fact, had a little chat that got very, very deep. There was a little bit of politics and religion involved in that, but it was a very nice discussion, very personable, and we had a great time. Shaitan's Hammer, good to see you. And Mr. Home Arcade says, good afternoon, everyone. Glad to see you. And yes, thank you, Bjorn. Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm going to bring my guest on, and I have a special way of bringing guests on the show sometimes. So today, let's have a very big welcome to Masters of the Minicomics, a tribute. Hello there, and thank you for coming on today. I appreciate you being here, Robert.
Oh yeah,
and it's great to have you. It is great.
Yeah, we're gonna do some.
To have you, sir.
Maybe have to try to figure out some sound check stuff here. I don't know. I don't want to create an echo or anything. How's the sound for everybody else?
It's sounding good on my end. Bjorn, if you would let us know how everything is sounding for Robert and I, and let us know.
Good to go.
And Jim says, smash that like button, folks. So please do. And Boba Higgs has smashed it, and I appreciate that, Boba Higgs.
All right,
So,
perfect.
what's been going on there, Robert?
Well, I guess the first thing to say is I'm still doing the show. You were the first guy to kind of give me an opportunity to talk to somewhat of the Motu community, and thank you for that. Thank you for having me on back then, and since then,
You're
kind of
very
grown a little
welcome.
bit, maybe about 600 subscribers worth, because you got me right when I first
Yeah,
started. So. Uh,
you outgrown me.
a little bit, it's just moving, so it's great. On Instagram I'm at like 1,200 or something like that. I only started 6 months ago, so for me it's pretty amazing that I got an opportunity to share this love of Motu with the world, and kind of
That's wonderful.
kind of try, I guess, eventually to become a professional voice actor, and this show that I'm doing right now is the only way I can get my chops up. I don't want to. You can go to voice acting studios and you can sit there and pay coaches and do all this stuff and workshops and all that. Eventually, I might have no choice but to do that kind of thing. But I'm the type of person that if I can DIY, I mean mechanically, professionally, academically, whatever it is, I'm gonna try my hardest to stick to that kind of ethos where I could just knock it out myself and try. And based on feedback of the audience and how my show's being recepted and received, maybe I know where to tweak stuff, So um, it's a little bit tough right now. I'll tell you right now that I'm doing this thing. I I kind of want negative feedback, I guess, as long as it's constructive,
Right.
maybe. But because I don't know where
I get it. I get it
I
because
to change,
you don't want a bunch of yes men just telling you, "Oh, you're great, you're great, you're great," even if you're not. If there's something
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
can be improved,
Right,
you'd
right,
like to
right.
hear so you understand. Um, I will give you a suggestion. I've never done this myself, but as an amateur magician
Mhm,
and a member of the IBM, the International Brotherhood of Magicians, I've known several magicians who are professional, who have to
mhm,
perform before crowds of people. And there is a club called the Toastmasters. I
mhm.
don't know if you ever heard of them, but
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
where
yeah. Sure. Of course.
they kind of help you to learn how to speak in front of other people, and you don't stumble over your words, I guess, as much as like I do. I mean, I say a lot, and that's something that you have to learn how to not do.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, there's a
So
little bit of a delay going on right now, so I don't know if I'm talking over you, sir. I apologize for that, but um, I don't know if it's my internet or just the connectivity or going through my interface kind of stuff like that from a computer or whatever it is. But forgive me if I'm stepping over you. But I am
no,
familiar with I am
no,
familiar with
I understand.
Toastmasters, and I actually was part of Toastmasters in the military for a little bit. I have a lot of public speaking. I have MC duty that I did like in public award ceremonies. I've MC'd Christmas parties with hundreds of people. So for me, public speaking and being in front of people is kind of where my passion for performance really resided when I first started doing this kind of stuff. I was in drama class in high school. Uh, I play music. I played guitar for a long time. I've been in bands, so for me, public performance and live performance has been kind of part of what I enjoy doing for a hobby. So now I just kind of put it to play where I get the chance to put these records down and get them perfect as I possibly can. Um, one piece of constructive criticism that I did get recently that I was very conscious of it when I was recording yesterday. This is going to be my next episode here, and so the Rock Warriors. Um, I was reading this, and there's a lot of the word mountain. So I'm lazy and I say mountain. but but somebody had told me, and it was great to enunciate mountain instead of saying mountain. You know,
Yeah,
so
and that's something that I have to deal with as a Southern boy. I have a deep Delta accent here in Mississippi, and a Southern drawl, and
uh-huh, uh-huh.
we have to learn how to enunciate our words correctly.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, where you at in Mississippi? I've been there many times.
Hmm. It's a great state. It has its problems. Some of the areas are economically depressed, but we are the hospitality state. Yeah, a lot of people from up north come down here, and they have a
Uh-huh,
culture shock with the fact that perfect strangers will say hello to them, and they're not
uh-huh.
used to that.
What part of Mississippi?
Uh, I'm just south of Memphis, Tennessee, in an area called the Delta Alluvial Plain, and
Mm.
it's flat, and it's
Mm.
shaped in a triangle almost if you look at it on the map, and that's where the
Mhm.
I think the delta comes from. But uh,
Mhm.
hundreds of years ago, the Mississippi River flooded every year, and the
Mm.
floodwaters would cover this area all the way to the hills. So
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
the river all the way to Interstate 55, and from the lobby of the Peabody Hotel all the way down to Catfish Row in Belzona, Mississippi, is an area known as the Delta. And it's all flat as far as the eye can see. And it has some of the most rich soil in the nation. And it's
Mm.
where
Mm.
cotton and soybeans and lots of
Mm.
rice and milo, and now these days corn is being grown. And
Mhm.
it's also a very economically depressed area,
Mm.
but it is it's my home, and I've always lived here.
Mhm. Yeah, I spent time in, Meridian, a couple of
Yes,
times. One of my best buds is from there, and
that's
he,
down south.
yeah, I've been there, and I just drove through the north before going down south towards, I was at Panama City in Florida. So I've been through
Hmm.
Mississippi a couple times. You know, on the freeways there's a lot of fruit stands and, uh, boiled peanuts, are out there, you know? So
Yeah,
it's,
I'll tell you this: the people in Jackson, Mississippi, don't think that the people up here in what we call the tip of Mississippi are true Mississippians, and
oh?
sometimes we feel the same about the Jacksonians. But the the state is very different in the areas that you go to. You have the
Mhm.
Delta, which
Uh-huh.
everybody hates, then they disavow us. Then you have the hill people who live over in the hills, and then as you go south,
Uh,
the state begins to change drastically as you get closer and closer to the Gulf of Mexico. So it's a very interesting environment. But
oh.
I do enjoy I enjoy living in the area that I'm in, and I tend to get claustrophobic when I get into mountains. And my daughter at one time lived in the great state of West Virginia, and we would go there to visit. And Rolo says Bill is from the swamps. So if you're still missing a swamp monster for your collection, his wife Mrs. P is now open for offers. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, Rolo, we love you, brother, but gosh, he's a German who lives in Mexico, and he is also one
Yeah.
of the he's with Grindhead Jim with Resurrection Toys, which I don't know if you know anything about, but I am the brand ambassador for. Bruiser Brawler, hello, and Jim Largo's come in the show. Yeah, good morning, Jim. Again, yeah, you were on. You came on for a minute while I was doing that marathon all nighter. I was talking to Robert about that. If you guys want to watch that, you're going to have to skip through portions of it. It's totally unwatchable in areas. I did not realize at one point I was sharing other people's streams in my stream while I had them on voice chat and Discord, and it sounded great from my end here, but when you watch the stream, some of the things that I thought were muted weren't muted, and it's horrible. But we all had a good time, and towards there are sections of it that are watchable. I had an interview with Zazel from over at Sergeant Slaughter's slaughterhouse. He came in and we talked for a little bit at the beginning of the show.
Mm.
And towards the end, me and another brand new YouTuber had a long, slightly political discussion, but it was personable, and it was a nice discussion. Some of the politics that we talked about might not be your cup of tea, but we all have learned how to be friends, even though sometimes we disagree about certain issues. That's not the main focus of our life. And today, our main focus is going to be on the Masters of the Minicomics. One of the things that I have noticed is that you have branched out a little bit from just the Minicomics themselves and have started going into the storylines that were presented in the Golden Books. Would you care to elaborate on that just slightly there, Robert? We would appreciate hearing that.
Yeah, so my original intent, I was going to start going through this entire book and just try to get through this whole thing, but it's rather giant. So I got to a certain point where I was like getting through the first and second series of the launches of the comics. So I did all the first series, all the second series, and then by that time, it was around that time, people started requesting specific comics to read. So then I started just skipping through it and got to the some of the awesome comics that people really have a lot of nostalgic value from, like the Bruce Timm stuff and Dan Psyche and these other awesome guys, Larry Houston. And you know what's cool is skipping through this stuff. I've had the opportunity to kind of look up some of these guys to see if they were still around who made these mini comics. And little did I know that one of them, for particularly Larry Houston, he subscribed to my stuff. I didn't realize it. I was like, "What? You're already subscribed?" So
That's amazing, man, and it's wonderful to hear that so many people that are I guess celebrities in our eyes have found you.
Yeah. Celebrities, yeah, definitely. To me, yeah, for sure. A couple of these guys. I mean, like I'm trying to reach out to Bruce Timm to see if he wanted to see this, but he hasn't had a chance to respond yet. So I've gotten in touch with it somewhat. I guess waiting on responses. Stan Psyche, Larry Houston, Bruce Timm. I think I reached out to Lee Nordling as well. So some of these guys. Oh, and then the son of Alfredo Alcala, he's around, and he
Wow,
watches my
yeah,
stuff. So he knows about my stuff, and enjoys it. So over the last couple of months, I've been really trying hard to market my product. As just as a fanboy, really, I'm not into this at all for monetization. I just want the fans to celebrate this vintage material and kind of see it in a new way as if they're new 80s cartoons. That's the whole
yeah,
goal, is to make them like they're new cartoons, and but what we loved then. So of
right.
course the revisions that we've seen, 2000X was awesome. Revelations, I'm a fan of Revelations. It has its mixed reviews. um
Mhm.
the Netflix CGI show is actually really good.
I like
These
the Netflix CGI show personally.
Yeah.
I don't care for Revelations, but yeah, part of that is because of the crying boy who told us that he was a big Motu fan, and we found out that was a LIE.
That's kind of the consensus a little bit. It's the shows is what it is. But as the mountain of the roller coaster of Motu throughout the generations is now at its peak right now, because they're
Mhm.
developing a CGI, developing a live action show. They got the two shows on Netflix. They got the huge product line. They have Mattel announcing all this stuff on the internet about the Eternia and all that stuff. Right now is pretty much the peak of Motu right now. So I'm just trying to ride this as however long it lasts to get people interested in seeing these done. So
Yeah.
my next phase of where I'm going with this is collaboration. So right now I have 2 females that are going to be joining me. One is Duchess of the Darkness. She is a YouTuber who does scary story narrations. And I don't know if somebody could find her. Let's see if I could find her real quick, but give her a shout, Duchess
Yeah.
of the Darkness.
I'll tell you what, if you find her, put that in the private chat, and I'll post it up there. But yeah, one of the things that's frustrating for me is the fact that I have so few females that are willing to lend their voices to what I do sometimes. And I even coerced my daughter into being Tila at one point for me in one of my videos. But a lot of times I have to do what you do and resort to my little female voice. It sounds kind of silly,
Yeah.
you know. What
Yeah,
does
I'm
shake
pitching up
hands?
on
How much
those.
the CGI show rocks? Yes, it does, and it's honest about its purpose. The Kevin Smith show, yeah, we understand. I think as far as the CGI show goes, that this and some people may not like it, but I will live with it because it's more true, I think, to the purpose of the He-Man cartoon show than anything else that we've had for a while. The CGI show is the future of Motu, I think, for children.
Yeah, it's on season 4 right now, which is pretty amazing. I don't really know how much longer this, the Motu lore is going to last, because I think, I don't know, in my opinion, this might be the last time. We got 2000X for adults. 20 years later, it was awesome. It didn't, 36 episodes. It didn't really, I don't know why it didn't last. I loved it. And then 20 years after that, we have all this other stuff. But I don't think it's going to happen again. I mean, we're another 20 years from now, a lot of it's going to be dead.
If you believe if you believe the things that the guru says, and I won't mention his name outright, but he thinks that when Universal gets the rights back to He-Man, that suddenly all of this is going to go away, or it's going to be different, or something like that. So I don't know if it's true, and a lot of things are suspect, so I don't know. But it would be interesting to see how everything progresses here in the future. And I was going to ask you a couple of questions. The first one is, if you continue doing what you're doing, eventually you're going to run out of this material that's already been done. Have you thought of the future of the channel at that point? Is it going to be just a library of what exists, or are you going to branch out from that into something original?
Well, I'm gonna show you something right now that no one's seen, and I want to try to see if we can somehow, as a community, make this a big deal. But this is pretty much going to be the future of where I'm going.
Let me embiggen you so people can see that. Let me bring you over here, and He-Man and Thundercats, a DC comic.
This is a 5-volume graphic novel that I am going to have a full cast and do a full-on 5-part production of this over a couple of months of work, and it's going to be awesome, man. I'm already practicing my Thundercats voices. I am trying to get people involved specifically for specific voices. Tigra, Panthro, professional voice actors have already said yes. I got the two females that one of them was Duchess of Darkness. The other one, we all know her as the best cosplayer, I think. And Mo2 is her name's Newt. Rebecca.
I posted a link to her channel as well.
Yeah. Simple Tricks and Nonsense. She does
Yes.
cosplay.
Mhm.
She's awesome. They have a podcast that they do. What is it? Collectors of Power, or the other one, Toys of Power something. But they've been around for a couple years. Their podcast, and they brought Rebecca in recently to get 4 people on their podcast all the time. And those
Mhm.
guys, well, anyways, I'm working with the female talent to kind of make sure that they're you know following suit with the way that my pace is, my
Mhm.
style, to make sure that they blend with the show, so it's not
Mhm.
too much of a change for anyone. And then the big vision here, though, is this giant graphic novel
Well,
is going.
once again, folks, Weird Fantastic Toys has brought you an exclusive. No one has known about this before today. It's something
Yeah,
for us to look forward to in the future, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be an awesome endeavor. Um,
yeah.
Rolo has brought up an interesting point, and it's something that I've thought about in my mind as well. Have, are you aware of the German audios? Audio
Yeah, yeah. There's like a huge German collection of the audios, and I
Yeah,
saw
and
somebody post.
The German audios are a different storyline from what we are used to here in the States, because the big thing that
Oh,
everybody knows is there's the original continuity from the mini comics, then there's the
uh-huh,
DC Comics continuity that came shortly after that, which led into the Filmation continuity, which most people are aware of, more people are
uh-huh,
aware of. And then there's
uh-huh,
the German audio plays, which are an interesting animal in and of themselves, and they are amazing. However, it's all in German. So those of us who
uh-huh,
speak ninth German, me, cannot understand them. I know Rolo has a full collection of those that
mhm,
have been biased that you can listen to, and
uh-huh,
those
uh-huh,
will get into my possession. But I would love to see those translated into English and presented in some sort of way. Uh, so I'm not saying you could do that, but I'm just putting a bug in your head.
Oh, wow, yeah, I never
And
really
thank you,
thought about the whole translation part of
thank
it,
you.
and putting those stories out in a certain way. That'd be pretty neat.
And
I
now
did see somebody posted something
John over at
recently
Super.
online.
I'm sorry.
What, what's this?
John, I was just going to say, I didn't mean to cut you off. John over Super Awesome Geek Show says, I don't think things like He Man are going to go away. Just like Superman and Batman, people are always, always say they're going to go away, but they come to an
Mhm.
end, but they never do. And I understand that.
Yeah,
And no, He Man will never go away.
oh, of
But
course
and
not
I don't
go
think
away.
no, and I don't think the toy line is going to go away next year either. Even though Universal may or may not be getting the full rights to everything, I think Mattel is going to make sure
Uh,
that everybody that they keep their first right of refusal, so that they keep that. Let me
uh-huh.
shout out a few people here. Barely has shown up. She's from Austria. Thank you for showing up.
Oh,
And
cool.
I see what Shaitan's Hammer says. We're still in the 80s nostalgia boom, which seems to keep getting boosted, possibly because it was a massively creative period. And I agree with that. We, uh, uh, Gen Xers, I will say, all lived in a golden age of toys and cartoons, and
Mhm,
and and a lot of very good original things came out during that era. So yes, uh,
mhm.
the other question that I was going to ask, Robert, uh, do you have a vast library of sound effects that you're pulling from, or are you just getting sound effects like I am from whatever royalty free source that you can download them free from?
Yeah, my sound effects stuff is still kind of growing. I do download the royalty free stuff. I try to find a sound from certain sources to then maybe modify them a little bit on my production software,
Mhm.
uh, and maybe I'll stretch out the sound to try to get something, or I'll just find background music. Like for this one here, I have to go on the internet and search for um, this first page. I'm gonna add some like rainforest sounds because they're
Mhm.
talking about birds and are walking through the rainforest. So I'm gonna add some
Mhm.
ambiance to that. So I'm gonna try to do background noises more often. But ultimately, yes, trying to find sounds like here's a scene here where you got these rock monsters that are walking, and they're all just thousands of them. So I'm going to have to find like a maybe like a stone uh rock slide kind of grinding sound a little bit.
Right.
And,
Right.
so I just make it up really from finding stuff on the internet that's free. But I do have some professional sound stuff from DaVinci Resolve that I haven't set up yet, but I have a whole bank of sounds that are like really professional sounds. Um, it's just these these stories and what they did in the 80s. It's kind of like they recycled a bunch of stuff like I'm doing. So to keep it true to their style as a tribute to the show, recycling the same laser sound or recycling the same dragon sound or the same punch, or all that stuff is what they did. So as long as
Mm.
I'm trying to do my tribute thing, I want people to experience that same nostalgic
Somebody
sense.
just gave me a tip. Hold on just a second. Let me see who did that so I can say hey to him.
Wow, very
Salzburg,
nice.
Jimmy. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
That. Let me stop and tout the channel for a minute. If you look down below and you see that your subscribe button's still red, please hit that. I need all the subscribers I can get. Uh, we do operate on tips here. If you look in the description, I do have a link there to my Streamlab page where you can send me a tip by Streamlab. If you so desire and you would like to be a full-time supporter of the channel, I do have a Patreon. I'll shout it those out at the beginning of the show. Sorry about that, but sometimes we have to do what we have to do to keep our channel going.
No, it's totally
And
totally
Super
understandable,
Awesome
sir.
Geek Show, Jim, John, and Jim, Grindhead Jim, you both have got invites to come on if you want to talk with Robert and I and be part of the show. So I sent those invites out. Now we're going back. I think I interrupted you. Sorry about that. So continue, please, sir.
Yeah, I was just talking about the sound bank stuff. I have a professional program that I haven't really gotten used to using yet. It's called DaVinci Resolve, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of production studios use this at a tremendously high level. And yeah, I mean it's like college level type knowledge that you probably need to really make really awesome production stuff, videos and all that. And so right now I'm just kind of sticking with my basic knowledge of using Windows Movie Maker. I scan all the
Hey,
images
I use
in.
that too.
Uh, it's so simple. I scan all the images in. I put my sound effects through my. Now I did pay hundreds of dollars for this professional sound equipment and buying a new microphone and creating my studio setup because of my ultimate goals of becoming a full time voice actor. So I did invest in that side of it. But as far as what voice actors do in the real world, all we do is just put raw sound down and give it to a sound engineer. So
Mm.
me taking on the sound engineering side of this is really just for hobby purposes, because if I do the professional voice acting thing, all I really have to do is make sure that my sound is clear, and then I send it to somebody else and they do all the post production.
Well, yeah, they do all the mixing
uh,
for you. I use a free
yeah.
software called Audacity to do a lot of my
Y-
mixing.
yeah. Audacity is one of the ones they talked about in some couple of my seminars that I went to. A local studio called the Voice Actor Studio here.
Mhm.
A professional voice actor lady named Melissa Moats started this studios training center, and I got about, I don't know, 16 hours of that being there. But ultimately, it's just all about trying to get my own chops built, like I was
Yeah.
saying earlier. I'm directing myself. I'm listening to myself. I'm making sure that it sounds natural, or sounds like an 80s cartoon. None of it really sounds natural, you know. I am
No.
He-Man, you know, that's nobody talks like that. But
Well,
yeah,
one of the things that I thought about doing is using Audacity to add just a slight bit of reverb to my He-Man voice. Because if
sure.
you notice when He-Man talks, a lot of times in the cartoon, even he would have this little just slight
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
of
yeah.
reverb to his voice,
Sure, of course, of course. That's
and you know
yeah.
little tricks like that, you know, can help uh, help us to make our voices sound a little more. I don't know if the word realistic is correct, but more accurate.
Yeah, well, animation accurate, I guess. You know, it gives a little bit
Yeah.
of yeah, it gives a little bit of texture when you're doing the episode. So, I actually spend a lot of time, most of my time that I do, like last night when I recorded this, it only takes me like an hour to record the whole book.
Hmm.
But it takes me like 8 or 9 hours. Something this size is only about 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Hmm.
Um, it takes me hours, several hours of putting sound together. I have to,
Yeah.
so I read the book, I find the emotion of each scene, then I go through all of the Motu soundtracks and find what song is suited for that emotion. And
Hmm.
then, you know, I put it in there. I have to transition all the songs together, make sure they go smoothly. And then that's the first layer is getting my soundtrack right. So once I get
Hmm.
my soundtrack right, I double check that my acting is correct to the soundtracks. And then I start putting sound effects on. So, like for instance, the first scene I'm gonna do, um, them. One track's gonna be
Hear this.
them, kind of just a normal song. It's gonna be maybe a Turnia song. Dun, 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 dun. They're walking through the forest. He-Man and his friends are walking through the forest, or whatever. And then I'll layer it with the birds and stuff. You know,
Hmm.
tweet, 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 and then the next sound, the next scene is there's a couple enemies coming. You know, so obviously I change the music, and
Hmm.
and I can start kind of dwindling down the background noise because the focus goes towards a different direction, and I can eventually transition out of having background music because now I'm focused on the action itself. So I'm focused
Right.
on the gun sounds or the airplane sounds or the fighting music, the rustling, that kind of stuff, you know. Um so yeah, it's a pretty cool process. It is becoming a little bit taxing. I think this chick that I have here for the collaboration that I got, I mean, this is going to take a little while, man. I want to make sure this thing is awesome. I want Thundercats music integrated. I want all my voices to be amazing. You know, I want the sound effects. Since I'm doing this unique crossover and it's basically a new thing, I don't have to honor like 100% 80s nostalgia. I can try to integrate new sound effects into this to make it basically modernized, but still use
Yeah.
the same soundtracks, you know? So I want
Yeah.
to use sort of,
And,
you know,
and we have to also understand that whenever we go from one media to another, there's a lot of tweaks and maybe workarounds that may change slightly, but we want to keep the same spirit going when we do that, which is one of the
yeah.
reasons why, you know, they always say the novel's better than the movie because it's two different mediums.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is what actually one of the baselines of people's, I think their concerns with Revelations is maybe he changed it a little bit too much. Maybe he, you know, the whole bait and switch thing. But um,
Yeah.
you know, I wish there was a little bit more connection to the original show. Again, I'm not knocking on it because obviously I want to work for Kevin Smith one day, or I want to work for,
Yeah,
you
I
know, Rob
understand.
David or something like that.
Right,
But
right.
you know, these guys do what they do. They're amazing. They rule the world. Especially Rob David, he's basically Mr. Motu at Mattel. Rob David wrote this comic right here, and he writes he's a producer of the CGI show. He's a producer of Revelations, a writer on all this stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
it's his name's all over Motu, and
Right.
um, I've tried to get him. He acknowledged me the other day when we were talking about the unfortunate loss of Batman,
Yeah,
and
Kevin. As a matter of
yeah,
fact, I have not addressed that here personally on the channel because I thought that there was enough tributes going on out there already. But yeah, it's sad that we've lost him.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy. He's, um, it's terrible that his voice, it's gone, and he was, when you think about anybody who's defined something, like that guy has defined Batman, DC,
Yeah,
Justice League, the 90s. His
yeah,
voice was just tremendous to all of us. And so I wrote, Mark Hamill wrote something up there. I wrote something to Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill acknowledged my existence.
yeah.
And Rob David acknowledged my existence. And, these guys, they know I'm out there. So, maybe someday one of these big figures will be more involved in my stuff, sponsoring me, blasting it out, whatever it is. I actually even asked Mattel. I asked Mattel.org to, through an official email and everything, hey, you guys want to check my stuff out? Get me a follow, something like that. Like, if, because Mattel.org has like tens and tens of maybe even 100,000 followers,
Right.
tens of
And
thousands
and
of
hopefully
followers.
hopefully they understand that that you're giving them free publicity.
Yeah. So I was talking to one of my lawyer buddies yesterday. We played tennis together, and he was like telling me, he said, "There's only two things that are going to happen here," because he used to do copyright stuff.
Yeah.
The cease and desist is eventually going to come, or they're going to want to hire you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. So.
and we understand that we're using their material, but we hope that they
Mhm.
realize that, hey, these guys aren't trying to take away from what we're doing. These guys are giving us all this free publicity.
Yeah, I know, and that's what my coworker was talking about. I'm basically like a free employee. I'm putting this.
We're doing this because of our love of
Yeah.
Superman, and the IPs that we collect.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, uh, are you still collecting He-Man figures and play sets, and are you into
Oh yeah.
Origins?
Yeah. A little bit of a freak at it. So here's kind of, I don't know what you'll be able to see, but here's a little bit of half of my collection from here. If you want to
Okay.
make that big or whatever.
I am going to
Uh,
do that. And I'm also going to take the overlay off the screen so that people can see better. Let me get over here to the brand section so that I can remove the overlay real quick. There we go. Yeah, there I can see those figures back there. You have quite a collection there.
yeah, that's all my origins pretty much. I got a bunch of pops. Um, Couple of things over there. This is kind of where I pretty much like do all my recording and stuff. I have a booth here that I built, and then over here is the other half of my collection. Uh, Here where I got 2000X, Revelations, and some vintage stuff at the top. I don't really display vintage too much because they don't really stand very well. It's really hard to keep vintage up to date.
Right.
Uh,
Hang on just a second there, Rob. Uh, Resurrection Toys, which is either Rolo or Gem One, has asked me, is my Twitch working? Supposedly StreamYard is dual streaming me to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So if you're commenting to me through Twitch, which it looks like you are, yes, I hope that it is working. If it is not, please let me know. But so yes, there I am dual streaming to Twitch right now. I don't know very much about Twitch. I have a love-hate relationship with Twitch, which Grindhead Jim is aware of, but it's just one more place to keep my channel alive and to bring people in. And that sorry I had to interrupt you for that, but I wanted to address that issue there with Twitch. So if something's going on with Twitch and I'm not streaming there, let me know. But according to this, I am. And
mhm.
okay, Wilhelm Toy and Hobby, that'd be my friend Will McLaughlin. And I believe you do have an invite to come in here, sir. If you will look on your Instagram, yes, my Twitch is working, so that's good to know. And
Mhm.
Radical Toys, Adam says lots of Thundercats Ultimate. Okay. Back
Oh,
to
that
what we
guy. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
about Radical Toys comes around
yeah,
occasionally.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool,
Going
man.
back over the collection there, you have quite a bit of stuff there. Look at you got
Yeah.
some classics too, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, I got classics. Last PowerCon I ended up picking up the Castle Grayskull. Wasn't, very well received, but it's expensive. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted it, so I got it. And then my 2000X. I kept my 2000X in boxes for like, gosh, I don't know, 15 years or something like that. But 2000X, man, they never really, done any. The toys just don't really retain value on 2000X, so I just opened them.
Yeah,
You know,
the toy line failed miserably. However,
yeah,
a lot of people liked the cartoon show, but the problem
yeah,
with the cartoon show was it was never consistently on where we could watch it.
yeah. I had the DVD set, and I know Mattel started like trying to relaunch it on YouTube and stuff like that. I started watching it again. I love the show so much. Uh they dove into origins of certain characters, and they try to
Mhm.
define and make things clear to everyone. I
Yeah.
think this was the first time that they really did the whole Keldor story.
Yes, it was. It
um
was.
so I loved it, man. I loved it. I was really sad when that show got canceled.
Yeah.
uh
I I remember when it came out, and I tried to watch it as much as I could, but like I said, it wasn't consistently on. So,
mhm. I tried to
and
and I tried to reach
we have
out
a
to
question here.
Cam Clark as well, and I can't really get him to acknowledge me. So
It
a busy
happens.
guy. But
Adam wants to know, where did you get the Motu logo sign on your mic? It looks like it lights up.
yeah, this is an LED. Actually, somebody, um, it's Etsy. It's on Etsy. So it's an LED sign. I have it totally minimized right now because of the glare on it. Uh,
Mhm,
and uh, I can, you can increase this brightness or lower the
mhm,
brightness.
mhm.
See that?
That's just
It's pretty
amazing.
neat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
somebody made up
That's
this.
where Etsy.
Yeah, somebody and I think there's different size ones that they had on there. So I wanted to definitely jump on that LED sign. Got that right away. So as soon as I saw it. Um yeah, man. Did you have any other questions, or the other guys, were they gonna come on? Did they want to ask me anything?
Yeah, I've invited them. They're being shy, but yeah. If you got any questions, chat. Just shout out, and Robert will be more than happy to answer them. Uh, I've got a few things over here that we can look at in my collection if you would like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, for sure.
We'll pull up the old toy cam there. I've recently purchased two figures for my collection, and that's Whiplash and
Oh,
Clawful there.
gotcha.
So they're sitting out there,
Yeah.
and back there is a carded Evil Lynn that we're going to open today. She's special, and I've been
Mm,
searching for that particular Evil Lynn for a while. Now, does
hmm,
that mean that I don't already have Evil Lynn in the collection? No, I've got a couple of yellow Evil Lynn origin figures in my
mhm,
collection, but that one's special. We'll get to her in a minute. And we were talking about Etsy earlier.
mhm,
There's a couple of Etsy shops out there, and one of them is in Belgium, run by a fellow by the name of Geert, and that's called Talos Dream Shop. And if you
mm,
notice there, my custom Filmation Accurate Stratos has got a staff of Avion there in his hand. That's some of Geert's 3D printer work there that's available on his shop on Etsy. Now, the German shop, which I cannot pronounce the name of, has they're doing not PLA 3D printing, but resin 3D printing, and making very high quality accessories there. If you'll notice that I'm going to zoom in there. That Filmation Accurate Stratos has arm cannons on his hands like he did in the cartoon. And that is from that shop there on Etsy that's German. And so he's got his arm cannons going. And he's also has a flight stand that he's on from that particular German shop. And there next to him is a weapons rack. And so you can see that over my ugly mug in the corner there. Is a weapons rack for He-Man's weapons that has a couple of skulls on the bottom of it that was also made by that Etsy shop. So Etsy is a wonderful place for finding some accessories to go with your figures.
And that Castle Grayskull, did you paint that?
I did. That is some of my work there, custom work. I got an old vintage Castle Grayskull that was pretty complete.
Yeah.
And I just took it out one day and I got the old spray painty out and I went ahead and put a nice base coat of black on the inside and the outside. Oh, excuse me, I did not do the inside. Misspoke. I did the outside. I spray painted that thing black, and then I just went to work with different paints, doing what's called dry brushing. I did a little bit of just work on it to bring out all of the details in it and make it look just a little bit better. And if you see right there on the top, there's something that was always in the old mini comics, but we never did actually have on the Grayskull, and that was the minaret at the top of the Grayskull helmet. And I made that using Sculpey clay.
Really?
And as you can see, the spirit is floating there above the tower. That is some of Talos Dream Shop work.
That's cool. Yeah, from the mini comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
My
yeah,
Spirit
that's
of Grayskull voice is, "Welcome to Grayskull." You know, like
yeah.
I am the
Mine
Spirit
sounds kind
of
of iffy too.
Grayskull.
We've got to figure out some kind of way of making it sound like more like a spirit with some of the uh, you can enhance the my internet connection is kind of iffy here right now. Is going to unstable, so we may skip a little bit, folks, but we're still here. So anyway, let me come back here to my main screen there. But yeah, that's kind of what we got going on today. So later on today, if you stick around, the last time you were here, you had another appointment to go to. I don't know if you have all day, and I know you have your son there to take care of. So if you need to hop out, just hop out and take care of that. But eventually, I want to open that Evil Lynn and show everyone why she's special. And I've got a couple of pickups here. I got some mini toy box toys that I picked up that are actually action figure size toys. So, Ruski, I see you down there. Hello, my friend. I saw where you're live streaming today. Ruski was on the marathon stream early this morning with me, and we were the ones that were doing all that political talk. But yeah, he's a good guy. If you guys can find Ruski Relaxation, hit his channel up. He's a gamer, and he's also gonna do fitness on his channel. I think he was talking about doing a workout video later today.
Oh, cool.
And he's trying to find his niche here on the tubes. So y'all can do check him out, give him some likes. He needs some likes. He needs some subs. And he's a cool all around guy. I can tell you right now, he's really cool. And he told me a wonderful story about some things that happened to him during the lockdowns. If you remember that horrid part of life back in the 2020, you know what I'm talking about there, and the coof and all that. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But anyway,
I can let you get to it, sir.
More about you, man. More about you, because we want to hear what's going on in Robert's world.
Yeah, professionally, I'm a facility manager. I don't really want to do that forever. I do facilities technician work and facility management, kind of at a managerial level, project stuff, vendor management, maintain this office environment. I have 4 floors and 2 sections of Las Vegas where I live, and it's a real
Oh,
easy job. So, um,
oh, you live in the city that never sleeps.
yeah, I love it here in Las Vegas. I love my job. It's an awesome job. Very, very supportive people I work with, and I have a great work environment. So, um, everything's fine, professionally and then hobby wise. It's no secret that my goal is to eventually become a professional voice actor. I need to start working on demos. I want to do commercials. I want to do video games, animation, maybe some telephone call tree stuff. I don't think I don't think I want to do full on audiobooks. It's very, very hard to sit down and read something for a long time and then
Hmm.
to edit it. So like my stuff is only 8 to 12 minutes usually, and it
Hmm.
takes me 16 to 20 hours, something like that, to do just that. Granted, I'm putting
Yeah,
sound effects and stuff like that, but um, my reading level is good, but it's not tremendously great where I can get the emotion and get every take down perfectly and keep it smooth throughout the entire time. So doing audiobooks is tremendously, tremendously challenging. So if you
yeah.
like Duchess of Darkness, she's going to help me out with she's going to be cast as my queen. She wants to do Evelyn. She wants to do Sorceress. And if you go to her channel, Duchess of Darkness, you could see that her capability is there. We're just going to have to hone it in for my tone, for my pace, for the
Hmm.
show. And she's totally open with this collab to make it happen. Um, and then Rebecca Cox, who's going to be doing my Tila, and maybe some of the other younger sounding female voices.
Hmm.
Um, she's never done the acting thing before, but what I'm doing is um, I'm looking for a voice for a few of my lines. Uh, that
Oh, I'll put him back up there. Yeah, he and Joneser
uh,
have done some cute little animated stuff. The last one I actually saw was it was Whiplash and I think Trapjaw were riding in the Roton, and it was just hilarious. And
oh, okay.
Joneser actually did the voice there for I think Trapjaw, but it was great,
Yeah,
kind of
Radical
cute.
Toys is
And
on my he's on my channel list, but I didn't see those things pop up. I don't know if it's from a while ago. Um,
I think he actually released one of them as a short, and he had released it earlier, and of course he got the copyright strike for the music, so I think he may have recut
mm,
that and put some different music in it. If I'm wrong,
mhm.
Adam, you let me know, but I think that that's the case. But yeah, and they're working on little animated stuff. I'm telling you now, Adam over there at Radical Toys, he's the one that did my intro, with the whooshes and weird fantastic toy
Mhm,
adventures
mhm,
kind of coming
mhm,
out like
mhm.
Superman the movie.
Yeah, we,
He
we 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 worked together a little bit on trying to see if we can animate some of my stuff. I think I had a different vision, and it's fine. I mean, I really appreciate what he did for me. It's
Yeah.
just I'm not really quite there yet with the full on animation of the actual graphics of particularly the panels itself. Because like
Hmm.
there's some graphic stuff that you see online where it actually has panel zoom ins and even it'll take these characters, like for instance this cell right here,
Hmm.
and it'll like you cut out these characters and uh, make it 3D and stuff like that. It's just so much work for an end result of what, 100 views, 200 views.
Yeah.
Let's just do the readings, let's do the sound, and I don't want to put anybody else
Well,
through any kind of like graphic strains of creating something that takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours for 100 views.
right. I can
Yeah,
understand that.
so
Well, let me ask you a question that just popped into my head. You were talking about for 100 views. One of the things that YouTube in their ultimate wisdom, and Susan Wojcicki and all of the useful idiots over there have decided is that in order for the algorithm to promote us, we must all do these TikTok shorts for YouTube. Have you done any shorts lately for your channel?
So I watched a show yesterday, and it's a guy who talks about YouTube stuff. It's a guy who gives people YouTube advice. Him and his brother do it. It's like a big giant. I forget his name, but he's a huge YouTuber guy. 600,000 subscribers, 700,000 subscribers, or whatever it is. Him and his brother are all, they teach people about YouTube, and they talked about shorts a lot, and they talked about how the algorithm likes shorts. So I need to work on shorts. I only have one short. I don't really know how to do this exactly with the shorts. Is a short going to be a condensed version of the episode I'm already putting out? I don't know. Is the shorts just
It
going to be
can
me?
be. It can be. I think. I
Uh,
think. I think you can put clips in shorts now. I don't know how to do that yet. The only
mhm.
thing I've ever done is take my iPhone and hold it up like this and talk into it, and it shows my ugly face. And the way it's presented in the news feed or whatever you call it here in
Uh-huh,
YouTube,
uh-huh,
it's not
uh-huh.
in chronological order. So the way I was using it is not helping any. Grindhead Jim pointed that out to me, and yeah, that
Uh-huh,
it. I look. I already hate TikTok to begin with. I don't have TikTok.
uh-huh.
Uh, I put it on my phone and then took it immediately off my phone and said, "Okay, I'm staying away from this crazy place." Now,
It's
I do
it's
believe you
it's
do have a TikTok.
yeah,
Now, if you guys
it's
look in the
crazy, man.
description, I have put all the links to all of Masters of the Mini Comics social media links in there.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
does do TikTok. So
Yeah, TikTok is a weird place, man. It doesn't do well. I think the most views I got on one video was 613 or something, 673 or whatever it was
well,
over a couple of
let me
days.
tell you this: whatever you do on TikTok is going to be the same thing as a short here on YouTube. Does that help?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that does help. That does help. TikTok.
That's what yeah, that's what shorts are. They're YouTube trying to compete with TikTok.
I see, I see. Yeah, the
Yeah,
TikTok stuff, you really have to engage somebody's attention because you only get them for like 3 or 4 seconds or whatever it is, and then they'll just swipe you out.
yeah, well,
Uh,
that's because the Zoomers do not have the attention span to watch long videos. Don't
yeah,
rip them
yeah.
over here anyway. I'm sorry to say. Okay, somebody's going to try to call me, and I'm going to decline that call. And if they show up, they can just leave me a voice message. Radical Toys has a question here. He says, if you are down for doing a few lines of He-Man's voice you do, I'd credit you next kit. My suggestion is that you guys DM each other on Instagram or something and work that out. So there.
Yeah, no,
I
he
think
has
I
my
answered.
information. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, he's fine, man. Adam, I'll work with you, dude. No problem. I'll work with anybody with any voices. That's what I'm trying to do. Or I'm trying to get on people's podcasts. I'm trying to get on people's shows. How else do you grow? I'm totally okay with collabs and getting information out there. It's
Yeah, and
so difficult.
that's the way our community should work. Because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always say what John Paul Revere says: "Together we shall triumph," and that's the only way. The ticket has come in. The ticket is a musician. He is the leader of a band called the Red Velvet Rope Band. If you want to hear them, go to AOM TV on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and
Hmm.
you will hear a wonderful variety show run by John Paul Revere, and the ticket is on the lineup there, and he has a wonderful version of Purple Rain that brings a
Oh,
tear to
neat.
my eye every time I hear him do that. And what did he miss? Quite a bit. My friend Robert here and I have been chatting quite a bit before you arrived, and you also missed probably one of the biggest clown shows that I've done since the first live stream I ever did, which was my all nighter that I pulled last night, and it was all live, and it's still up there, and it is. There's sections of that that's unwatchable. I will admit, and Adam says, I don't use TikTok. I like Instagram, but I've been ghosting on Twitter lately. Twitter's interesting, let's just say. The only thing I do there is promote the show. I don't interact with nobody on Twitter. Gilster, thank you for coming in, sir. And it's actually the Red Velvet Rope is in charge of everything. Okay, so it's the Red Velvet Rope Band featuring the ticket, and that's the way it's supposed to be presented. So yes, you're correct, sir, and I apologize. And my cousin uses TikTok all the time and never watches YouTube, and that's my point. YouTube wants to be TikTok. Well, YouTube is not TikTok. What we do over here is long form videos with a lot of interaction with our chat. So you people in the chat are part of the show, and that's how it works here. That's not how it works on TikTok, right?
That's weird on TikTok, man. It's TikTok is pretty it's not really for kids, man. Like there should be nobody under 18 on TikTok like ever. Like it's not, I mean, it's pretty poisonous for the brain. um TikTok is just not, I don't know how kids
I
have cell
agree.
phones, how they have access to TikTok. There's so
I'll
much
tell
stuff
you,
on there that
I'll tell you guys. If you guys want to watch TikTok without getting TikTok, JT over at Odin's Men is the place to go. You can he watches the TikTok video, and then he's I don't know if he's a Gen Xer or whether he's a boomer, but I think he's a little older than I am. I'm 52, but you can see him just wincing at the mental illness of TikTok,
oh,
and
so terrible.
it's amazing. And the ticket's going to get some tunes for me to put on the show, and I appreciate that, brother. But yeah, we've been discussing YouTube wanting to be TikTok and what the purpose of
Mhm.
shorts are and how to
Yeah.
use those. I haven't figured out how to use them for my show, and I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
I don't go on TikTok, so I have no idea what you're actually posting over there on TikTok.
It's just
Can,
clips, really. It's not
yeah.
anything special. It's just short clips, like an under a minute preview
Is
of.
there a way to drive traffic from TikTok over here to YouTube with your shorts that you're posting on TikTok?
Yeah, I just put the link in bio sticker,
There.
or
Okay.
or I'll just, the description's only maybe, the description's 150 characters, so I'll do a quick
Mhm.
summary of what the title of the thing is called. Like say for this one right here, the Rock Monster one, that I'm just gonna say Rock Warriors, Motu, Golden Book, performance narration. That's pretty much it. And then I'm gonna put a link, and then I'm gonna put a couple of tags. Like they're really into the hashtags on TikTok as well. So like one hashtag they have on there that has billions of hashtag references is nostalgia. Nostalgia is a word that
Mhm.
you use there, and has like 35 billion times it's used or something like that. Um, Mochu is not even really used a lot. He-Man's not really used a lot. So TikTok's not really a great place for Motu, but I'm just trying. So I think maybe
Well,
TikTok might be my way
I
of.
would figure that the Zoomers over there in TikTok are not Motu fans to begin with, anyway.
Nah, yeah. But TikTok, like what they're talking about TikTok. TikTok is growing its audience. TikTok is it's pretty competitive. I mean, TikTok is the place. The weird, I didn't even know the live thing on TikTok existed until like a month and a half ago, like at
Mhm.
all. And then I went
Mhm.
on there. I started the TikTok thing. I'm like at 73 followers or something like that. And you go on there, and there's like a live thing on there, and you basically like looking at windows of people's lives. You start scrolling through it, and it's a window into their personal life. So they're on there, and
Yeah, and some of those people appear to be mentally ill.
oh, it's weird. Yeah, it's like they
It's,
have
it's
to. They're
odd.
displaying their private life. They're sitting there in the kitchen making food or something like that. Just the video's just on, and they're just there. And I'm totally confused about what it does. Like, and there's people that pay them or that they give them money or something. I don't know
Well,
what that means, but
I don't know if you've ever watched It's a Gundam before, but he rides around in the Misery Machine, and he watches stuff on TikTok and other places and comments on it, and it's quite hilarious. And once again, we see these windows into people's lives there on TikTok that you go, is this a skit or is this real? Because if it's real, this
that's all
is bad.
fake, man. Those little TikTok things to get numbers. Like I see on the Facebook feed where people are doing the funny sketches. They think it's funny, but it's totally set up. It's totally acting. It's totally, but they have millions of hits, literally millions of people, and the comments are tens of thousands of comments. But of the comments, it's like 90% of the tens of thousand is this is dumb. I wasted my time. I can't believe I watched this whole thing. This is fake. Terrible acting. But they still get the millions and millions of views. It's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
uh,
I just I don't
I don't
understand.
know. I
Yeah, I
don't
don't know
either.
how to
I
get.
don't either. I think it's because I'm too old to understand.
I'm 42. I don't know. Maybe I'm already past the threshold of understanding it as well. I don't get it at all. I mean, the content
Yeah.
creators that do this stuff, I get kind of jealous about it because they spend maybe about 5 minutes coming up with something that's stupid, and they get millions of views. But then I
Well,
spend five
I'll tell you
hours or
something. I'll tell you something that my wife likes is Facebook, which I think that's a media that's going to go away at one point or another. It's a Facebook at one point was very popular, and now it is where
Mhm.
grandma and mom hang out. And
kind of, yeah.
now suddenly, okay, Meta and that robot that owns Facebook have decided that they
Mhm.
hate the audience. So they're the way the content is being presented and the way you can navigate that is just, to me, gone crazy. But my wife will sit there and scroll through what it's like TikTok videos. It's this,
Mhm.
what do they call those the stories on
Mhm.
Facebook
Reels,
stories. Yeah,
feeds,
that's basically
stories.
TikTok for Facebook, and she starts
Yeah,
scrolling through that stuff,
yeah.
and it's like clickbait, you know. When you
Oh,
get
yeah.
started on that, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think they'll do something, but they'll never finish it, and it goes on and on and on, and it's just like a bait and switch,
Sure,
grift.
sure.
Yeah,
You know,
and I'm
I guess you have to give him some sort of credit for the talent of keeping you intrigued about something that's so dumb, you know? It's
yeah.
so
Uh,
ridiculous that they keep your attention the whole time, and then at the end, people are like, "What did I just do? Why did I waste 5 minutes of my life? Why did I How did you even stay intrigued? That's a talent alone." Uh, so they're fine. I'm thinking they're fine with having negative comments because they're still getting the views.
well,
You know?
I like to watch the quartering occasionally. And Jeremy Hambley, one time, he said, if you don't want to give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. I don't care because it all reads the same in the algorithm.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Speaking of thumbs downs, of I think I'm at 37 or 36 videos or something like that. Hundreds and hundreds of likes, several hundreds of likes.
Hmm, hmm.
But I have maybe about 15 dislikes. Uh, and
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and then and of those 15, about 11 of them, I think I counted last, were singles. As if like one dislike per video, one. As if it's like one person who went through there and did a dislike, and then a dislike, and a dislike, and you know,
Those in internet terminology, those are known as trolls.
uh-huh,
I have them too.
uh-huh.
You have to ignore them and you don't feed them. Now, I have been known to engage them on occasion, and it never turns out very good. You ignore them and
Mhm.
you realize that this is just somebody out to get a rise out of you, and they win
Ah.
when they do, and they lose when they don't.
Just ignore it. Yeah, I don't know what that does for the algorithm having the dislikes or whatever, and
Uh,
that yeah.
I think it doesn't matter. I think it means that your video is being engaged, and as long as the
Mm,
video is engaging someone, the algorithm promotes it. Uh,
interesting.
I think. See, the thing is, Facebook. I'm not Facebook, but YouTube doesn't tell us what the algorithm is doing. They give us hints like do shorts. Yeah, you got to do shorts. If you want to grow your channel, you got to do shorts. We're not going to pay
Yeah.
for them. They're not monetized, but hey, you got to do these shorts or you'll never grow. So,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm grinding. Actually, I gained a few subscribers last night by doing what I did, and
Oh, okay. Cool.
so I mean, there's various things you can do if you, and there's ways to game the system. Like for instance, a lot of channels that are almost to monetization and they need those watch hours. We'll
Mhm.
post a 10-hour video of soothing music that you can go to sleep to, or
Oh,
ASMR, the sound of gentle rainfall, hours and
sure,
hours and
sure,
hours,
sure.
the sound of gentle rainfall. And what that's designed to do is to people will just put that on in the background and play that all day long
Mhm.
and just sleep to it or just relax to it, and they get their watch hours.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, that's
And I've
somewhat of a
thought about that.
strategy.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
thought about that. As a matter of fact, that live stream last night has got several good points in it, and several hours and minutes and of unwatchable parts. And I've
Mhm,
had several
mhm,
people say, "Well, I'm just going to put it on in the background, and if
mhm,
something intrigues me, I'll turn to it and watch it. Otherwise, I'll just let it rack
mhm.
you up some watch hours." And I'm like,
Oh, okay. All right. So, and then the watch hours, what is it? 10,000 or something? Or
I think it's 5,000. You have to get 5,000 watch hours, plus you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and then
mhm,
they will consider monetizing you. And from what I understand, it's pretty much a standard procedure. They'll go ahead
mhm,
and monetize you. When I first started in the community tab, you had to have five giving that away now.
mhm, mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really too concerned about it. I really
I
just want to share my stuff
and
so the Motu community can
um,
watch it. I just, I don't really
uh,
care if anybody uh shares it online or
all right,
I
we're
think I
breaking
mentioned this
up here.
before.
Hang on just a second. We got to get through connection unstable. Hang on just a second. There we go. We're getting back up there. Okay, sorry about that. We're probably breaking up at this point, but anyway, keep on talking.
Yeah, I was just saying the whole monetization thing is not really a tremendous goal of mine. It's just I want my content shared with the Motu community so people can see it. I think that people will enjoy it and like to watch it just for experiencing the nostalgia of revisiting the 80s cartoons. It's not even about the money at all. Of course, it would be cool to become a voice actor from this, or maybe
All
get
right.
recruited or discovered or something like that. But
Well,
really, I just want the fans to be like, "Oh, this is cool. Let's watch this." And then
there you
that's
go.
that.
This
You
is
know?
our hobby, folks. We're not going, and even if we do get monetized, we're only going to be making pennies on the dollar, just a little bit of money from the ad revenue. If our videos get monetized, occasionally we will have videos that you can watch that are totally unmonetizable because of the soundtracks that we're using.
Yeah, like mine stuff because of the He-Man, basically because of the He-Man theme song. If I took out the He-Man theme song, then I wouldn't have any content warnings. But I get a content warning because of the
Yeah.
He-Man theme song. But
Yeah, and that
uh,
it is. That'll get you every time. Even the Orko theme got me when I do the couple of magic videos that I did using the Orko magic trick that came with the vintage figure.
oh, oh, really?
And ticket asked a question, and I'll answer that, and then I'll let you elaborate on it if you want to. Is there a difference between live video versus just posting them? Uh, as far as the algorithm goes, I can't answer that, but I can tell you this, and I've seen a couple of big YouTubers do this. They'll post videos, usually 8 to 10 minute videos all day long, every day for all the time. And then on the weekends is when the grift really happens. That's when they go live. And when they go live, all of their fans hop into the chat, and then the super chats start coming in, and bing, 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 all these just super chat after super chat after super chat. And that's where they're collecting all their money. Big time super chats. I'm like, I don't know how Cody over there at Camelot 331 does it, but here comes he does a live stream.
Mm-hmm.
He'll talk for a little while as he begins to
Mm-hmm.
get inebriated drinking, and super chats start rolling. I'm talking about $100 super chats.
Whoa, holy mackerel.
Yeah,
I seen
and
I seen a couple of people with like $10 tips here and there, or 5 or
yeah, I
whatever it
mean,
is, but
yeah. But see, Cody's making the majority of his money, I think, uh, doing his live streams on the weekends from the super chat.
oh my goodness.
And of course, the streaming all week long is basically to drive everybody to, hey, I like Cody. I want to go to Cody's live stream so I can talk directly to him. Well, you see
Uh,
the chat rolls by at your speed that you can't keep up with it. Okay,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
does like I do. I guess it's I'm pointing in the wrong there. Here, you see this right here. That's my overlay with the chat that's going on right now in the
No.
chat. He has that as well, but it rolls to the point where you can't read it. He's not reading that. If you want him to interact with you, you got to pay Jack. And so when you give him a super chat, he'll answer you on the super chat. You see.
Yeah, I know. I seen this, man. Like there's a guy, I just unsubscribed to him because I tried talking to him more than a few times, but he just never acknowledges me. He's
Yeah. If they're live and you got the money, they'll answer you your super chat. They might answer you the way you want them to, but as far as answering goes, they will. And some of them, their chat is so huge that they can't get to all of the super chats. So they'll make a video of nothing but them answering super chats that they got in a live stream
oh my
and
goodness.
post that.
Imagine as a patron, you're giving them this super chat money and they don't answer you. Is that just a risk you take or something? Or I don't.
Well, Patreon is a whole different animal.
Well,
So
I'm just saying,
if you
as a patron to their live stream, as somebody who's
right,
paying them for the $10 super chat, if they don't get to your super chat, is your $10 trash? That's that. It
that's a
must be.
matter of opinion, but most of them that I know of, they will post a video answering the super chats if they're not able to get to all of them during the actual live stream itself.
Oh, I see. I see. I see.
Let's see what
Yeah.
Rolo says here. Maybe you should have a look into the German audio books. Yeah, we've already that Rolo, and he's intrigued. See what, as a matter of fact, if you want to get in touch with Rolo, he's easy to get in touch with, and you guys can discuss that. I would
Mhm.
love to see those audio books, at least if nothing else, translated into English.
Yeah. 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 Was this the gentleman that was sick?
Yes, he is. He's sick, and he and
Yeah.
Grindhead Jim have created this toy company, Resurrection Toys, which I am the brand ambassador of. I make absolutely no money as brand ambassador. I just get toys. But we Resurrection Toys is bringing your imagination back to life with Mexican bootleg toys from Mexico available in the United States at a reasonable price through resurrectiontoys.com/shop. And we have our main sellers right now are a combination of Godzilla and the Xenomorph called Xenozilla,
Mhm.
and a combination of the Predator and King Kong called Predacon. And you can buy them separately, or you can buy a 2-pack with Predacon versus Xenozilla.
Mhm.
We also have army builders where you can buy a 3-pack of 3 Xenozillas or 3 Predacons. You can
Mhm.
also get them in custom colors for a nominal fee extra.
Mhm.
We also have Lucha Libre figures that are official and endorsed by the luchadors themselves. So
Mm.
if you ever
Mhm.
get a chance, guys, head on over to Resurrection Toys. And
Mhm.
that is my plug, and that's part of my job is to plug Resurrection Toys, and I love them. As a matter of fact, if you would like to see the very end of the video that I posted at 9 o'clock today, it was my daughter's birthday, and Rolo had sent me some very special versions of these characters at Resurrection Toys, Xenozilla and Predacon, and they were to be mine. And I gave them to my daughter for her birthday. She's 29. And those toys are her two favorite franchises are Godzilla and Aliens.
Oh.
And then Grindhead Jim, the CEO of Resurrection Toys, cut a cameo for her. And I will love to watch that with you just really quick for those who haven't had a chance to watch the full video of Grindhead Jim giving my daughter a cameo on her birthday and her reaction to what he said. Would you like to see that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me go down here to the video clips and I'll show that really quick. And I appreciate you guys who have actually already seen this. And Grindhead Jim, I'm going to call you out, my brother. He watched that this morning, and that big old Marine was reduced to tears by the reaction that he saw from my daughter. So here we go.
Hi, Sarah. As I understand, your 29th birthday's in a couple days. Aww. I'm Grindhead Jim. I'm the CEO of Resurrection Toys, and I'm proud to say that it's my understanding that your dad is giving you his special Predacon and Xenozilla figures from his collection to you on your birthday. And that's a cool gift because he is our brand ambassador. We don't trust anybody else with that title. So those figures you're getting are super special. And my birthday wishes extend not just from here in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, but also in Mexico where our toys are from. We know you're a huge fan, and we could not be happier to be sharing this special day with you. And we hope you have the best. And just know, this is your last birthday. You're 29 forever. Long live. And we hope that these toys bring your imagination back to life. Take care. Happy birthday.
That's a cool dude, my guy. That is what's up.
That's funny. Yeah, it's
and that is our tagline: Resurrection Toys, bringing your imagination back to life.
Oh, nice. It reminds me of something that there was two guys who had shown me pictures of their kids watching my show, and I had duplicate copies of a couple of these. So I signed them and sent to them. They
that's great.
They love that. Yeah. They show pictures of them watching.
There's Rolo. There's Rolo. We do make these toys. Yeah, and Rolo. If it hadn't been for Rolo, there would be no Resurrection Toys. And that's a very, very long story, and I've told it a couple of times, but I'll tell it real quick. The way they met was right here on this show.
Oh, yeah.
It was back when I first started streaming, and then those are pretty rough watches. But Rolo was a regular of mine, and I knew that he was sick, and I didn't tell anybody because it wasn't my place to tell them. But Grindhead Jim popped in, and he and Rolo became fast friends. And then later on, we did a couple of streams where we did an auction, and we did another one with Stupid Human Tricks to gather some money for Rolo. And then Rolo and Jim began to DM one another and talk to one another, and then boom. And as Rolo says, Bill made it happen. I don't want to take full credit for that. You guys have done all the heavy lifting. All I did was get you guys to meet one another. But as a result of that, I have the honorary title of brand ambassador for these toys, and I do love them. I love them to death. I get paid absolutely zero for telling you that, but it is my pleasure to talk about these toys. I thank you for indulging me there, Robert.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If you guys have a link up there, I wouldn't mind seeing pictures of them or anything like that. I'm sure you guys got
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I could go on to a commercial here, pull the website up and everything, but Bjorn, if you would just post a link to Resurrection Toys there in the chat and let everybody get a chance to run over there and look at it later on today. And you can see all of our toys are there at resurrectiontoys.com/shop. And
Hey,
let's see what else Rolo said.
Bill, I'll tell you that the door to my garage has opened up several times. So I think it's about time that my family is.
All right. Well, I enjoyed having you on the show today. It was been wonderful, and like I said, you have an open invitation to come on anytime you would like. If you see me live streaming, and you Instagram me, I usually keep my Meta business suite open over here so that I can get messages while I am here live. And you want to come on the show, I'll be more than happy to send you the link if it's not pinned at the top. And you can come on anytime you want. Talk about anything you want. We don't have to talk about Motu, and we can talk about just whatever pop culture thing hits our head. Because I know by seeing that Star Trek Enterprise over there that Motu isn't the only thing that you're collecting over there.
It's not. I'm a huge Next Gen nerd. Yeah. Next Gen is my show. Yeah, man. Next time we'll talk about some more stuff. I'll keep an eye on your stuff. I already have you pinned up. I know when you go live, I see your videos all the time, man. So keep it up, and we'll talk later. I thank everybody for kind of showing up and entertaining this. And I think I'm going to be going on another show here on December 1st. I'll put more stuff out on my channel.
Yeah, just shout me out in that with that little @ symbol, and let me know when you post that into your community tab, so that I can. And I think I've already got notifications set up for you, but whatever that the show is that you're going to, I would love to watch you there and maybe even sub to them if they look like.
I think you might already be sub to them. It's a new show, a new podcast with a couple of guys have already been established out there. This is the next release coming out probably later on tomorrow or today. And everybody stay tuned to this big giant project here over the next couple of months. So
like I said, guys, you heard it first here, right here on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. Tell your friends that you might find out information that's not available anywhere else about watching my Hangouts on Sunday. And Rob, you have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you, Bill. We'll see you guys.
All right, man. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Today's show is not over. Don't start leaving all of a sudden. We want to talk about that Evil Lynn figure real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the old toy cam here, and we're going to bring that Evil Lynn figure forward, and we're going to find out what is special about Evil Lynn. My old Evil Lyns have the flappy knees. New Evil Lynn has got new knees. So I now have an Evil Lynn figure that has new knees on her. The only girl figure that I have in my collection now that doesn't have new knees is Temple of Darkness Sorceress. And I'm fixing to fix that at some point. So I'm going to open her up. Are you going to do? I always do. I just rip the package. And we're going to pull her out. Here's the mini comic. It's the same one we've seen in all of them. And we're going to pull her out of here. And we're going to loosen her up. You guys aren't seeing what I'm doing here. So there we go. We got to get that rubber band off of her arms. And we got to get that tape loosened on her staff. And we got to get her feet loose and pull her smooth out of here. And we got some plastic to go away. And the staff hit the floor. Put it back up there. And there you go, folks. My new Evil Lynn figure with the new knees. So that lets you guys know that these are available. How did I get her? I will tell you, I got her on Amazon.com, but I did not buy her from an Amazon fulfillment site or from Amazon themselves. I bought them from an Amazon seller that does not use Amazon fulfillment. If you use Amazon fulfillment or buy them directly from Amazon, you get flappy knees. So remember that, folks. That's how you get an evil Lynn. So back to the chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about real quick before the show ends today. Let me change my back to over here and back up, and I'll throw an overlay down there at the bottom just for the sake of having an overlay on the screen. There we go. Yeah, we only pay plastic to poor Bill, but poor Bill appreciates that plastic so very, very, very much. And back to this statement here. I didn't get a chance to read all of it. I was very touched by the vid as well. You did good, my brother, and I will replace your Christmas pack. The Kraken is on the way. Oh, the Kraken. All right. And he says, you have become a new station for toy lovers. Thank you so very much. Thank you guys for being here today. These last few minutes of the show are yours to ask me questions and for us to interact, chat, just us together. So if you have anything that you want to ask me, now it's the time. I've had a wonderful weekend. So much has happened. My daughter's birthday, the all-night live stream that I did last night, that was amazing. And today's live show, and I haven't had any sleep in the last 24 hours, and I'm going to crash. I'm going to crash hard, but I've enjoyed having you guys here. Bjorn asked me, how long have I been up? I've been up since 4 a.m. yesterday. Yeah, I surely have. Any experience with frustrating free packing from Amazon? Yes. If you want mint on card, you're not going to get that. Okay. The card backs are going to be torn up. Packages are going to be crushed, but you'll get your figure. So there's that to deal with. And if you're ordering directly from Amazon, you can have some very frustrating experiences. My order a kitchen utensil that was electric. It chopped, it julienned, it did it all. But Amazon decided that the box that it came in was good enough to ship it in. So they slapped a label on it and it arrived broken. So they sent me another one to replace it, and it was the same thing. They sent it in the box that it came in, no outer box, nothing. And it arrived okay. And I was able to keep the broken one as well for spare parts. But yeah, there can be some frustrating experiences there with Amazon Ticket. And Masters Maniac says your yesterday's live stream has 94 views. You rocked it. Yeah, and I gained some subs from that, and I found some new friends online as well from that. So I've never done that before. I've stayed up all night before working on the show, but I've never done it that way. Now, I do realize that cutting videos and uploading videos is not a thing to do on a live stream, because of and you will, if you watch the damn live stream, you'll see why. It's almost unwatchable in those places. And it's actually hilarious, the interaction between me and Zazel, where at one point I'm holding up notes to him on the screen because he can't hear a word I'm saying. It's just totally hilarious. And get some sleep, and we'll see you in the week. Don't forget, the work is waiting, old friend. Please get some rest. Yes, I will. And Ticket says he'll check out the replay. Appreciate that, Ticket. And I was asleep and I missed last night's video, but I saw it today. Yeah, that the video for with me and my daughter that I posted this morning, yes, that's there as well. So, and Radical Toy says that's why I like live so much. No editing. Yeah, that's correct. Anything can happen when you're live, and a lot of times it does. And that's part of the hilarity is watching whoever is live at the time try to work around whatever issues that they're having at the time. And folks, I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate my heroes that have been my Patreons and are still my Patreons. You know who you are. I've shouted you out. You're going to get a shout out in just a minute. And I'm going to go crash. But remember, together we shall triumph. Special thanks to these supporters on Patreon. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like and subscribe and share the video.